decided to say hello. Let's see if we can get him in the frame a little bit. There he is. Say hi, Chili. Huh? No? Alright. Hey everybody, welcome to my fourth video in my video progress series on Roland Dyens Saudade No. 3. You just heard my first performance, as with all the other videos. Based off of that first performance, there were a few things that I really specifically worked on. Starting with the opening page again, I focused my main attention to working on the rhythm of the measured sections that I had shown in the last video, with specific attention being placed to the last line, this part. That thing. Making sure that, I had a metronome going on in the background, making sure that I'm counting this 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and that thing, making sure that that's working at the appropriate tempo and making sure the rhythms are clear. Within that, definitely felt that transition, that shift, was awkward, especially trying to get all those notes to come out clearly and make sure that I'm landing on that well. So I actually decided that I was going to film my work on that section. You'll notice the metronome going on in the background. You'll notice me counting it a whole lot. You'll notice me using different practice methods like chunking it out, stop practice, and so it's just interesting how that practicing of that section took place, and I figured I would share that with everybody. Towards the end of practicing, you see me try and incorporate it into the piece, back chaining and going a little bit further back. 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 1 E and a 2, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 3 and a 3 and a 4, 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4, 3 and a 4, 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 3 and a 4 and a 3 and a 4 and a Three and a four and a one. 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 Three and a four. Three and a four. Three and a four and a one. Three and a four and a one. One E and a two E and a three and a four and a one. Whoa. One E and a two E and a three and a four and a one. That's a little sloppy. Three E and a four E and a three and a four. Three E and a four E and a one and a two. One E and a two E and a three and a four. One E and a two E and a three and a four and a. One E and a two E and a three and a four and a one. One E and a two E and a three and a four and a one. Nope. One E and a two E and a three and a four and a one. One E and a two. One E and a two E and a three and a four. Three and a four. Three and a four. Three and a four. Three and a three and three and a four. Three and a four. And a one. Three and a four and a one. Three and a four and a one. Three and a four and a one. One E and a two E and a E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. 1 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. You know, my primary focus for review on this in the second section was to really reinforce letter names of that B melody. I felt the A theme was pretty solid and pretty well in there in the performance. The B melody still sort of eluded me, so I really spent a majority of my review time of this section just singing the letter names slowly going through. Definitely the first ending section of this, where I'm going here, that whole part, that really, I spent a lot of time on singing the letter names and getting that going, and I'm going super slow. This part, that was pretty easy to put in and remember and recall. For new stuff, my goal was to get through to the end, pretty much to the end of the middle of the second page of the second movement. Call it movement. And it was pretty easy. The first half of the first 8 measures is just another play of the melody. Kind of, I guess, in sort of like a pseudo rondo form. Then there's this awkward section. So I would say 15 minutes of my 25 minutes of working on the new stuff was working on this section. That whole thing, which right now I'm sort of sucking at. And that was super hard because I've got hammer-ons from nowhere of these left hand of this melody in the bass while I'm plucking chords going down. And it just was a lot to keep track of. And so I would be sitting here counting, and I actually wrote in my music what the count was for that melody, so that way I can really be keeping track of it. And the hardest part was this part, 1, 1, E, and where I'm coming down on 2, doing that, and having that note come out. And it's just like really weird to like slur a note while I'm plucking. Sort of the same kind of thing as in the beginning, doing that. I think with a few more days of practice, it'll start to work, and that coordination won't be as awkward for me to play. But that was something that I really struggled with. I knew that I was going to struggle with that because of it. And yeah, so I learned that. I kind of have it memorized, but I'm really right now still looking at the music for that section, just trying to play it and get the coordination down. So let's take a listen to my run through at the end of my practice. So overall, I thought, at the end of that practice session, a lot of really good things had come out. I think the performance is stronger. You know, sort of within the performance, I'm sort of messing around with different colors and different dynamics, especially in the repeat of that A theme melody. Goals for tomorrow in my next practice are going to be just continuing to refine that first page, working on drilling in some of the fingering that I had changed, making sure that certain rhythmical things are where they need to be, making sure that the opening as a whole is sort of a cohesive unit. I feel like the opening 2 lines work really, really well. Where the melody comes in, that's working pretty good. The same thing when it comes down an octave. Right when I'm here, this whole part works great. That I'm sort of not certain how that fits into everything, because as I'm playing, because it says liberamente, very, you know, playing it liberally. You know, do I want to play just sort of like as a murmur, or do I want to really bring it out? And then this. So that shift, I can't rely on that just yet, so I'll probably drill that out as well. You know, this part, this whole thing worked pretty well. I might actually use the sweep there. That thing. And then this little part sort of just comes out of nowhere. So there's things in that page that I just need to sort of understand how they fit into the structure, so that way I can make it a more convincing performance. For the dance section, my goal is going to be review and just make sure that I have letter names of the A and the B themes of this. The C theme, I'm gonna, you know, which is the hammer-ons from nowhere section. Just gonna drill that out some more. I'll spend, you know, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes drilling that out. And if I have time with everything, I'm gonna try and work my way through the end of that page. So hopefully by the end of my practice session, I'll be able to play that whole entire dance section, which now is the first 3 pages, all the way up to the end of the 3rd page. And that leaves one more section, and I may move ahead after that, and just sort of continuing to plow ahead through that. The rhythms get really, really complex, a lot of changing meters and things like that I have to sort of wrap my brain around. Or I might just sort of solidify what I have. Haven't quite decided, you know, if we're thinking of sort of my goal of having the piece fully learnt and performable by the end of June. In 1 week, I've got half the piece at least memorized. Yes, it needs to be made faster, but I might focus on just refining and getting comfortable with the dance section, so that way next week I can put into learning the second half of the piece, and, you know, give 20 minutes to the whole first half of the piece, the ritual and the dance, and then give 25 minutes to, what is that? The finale, I guess it's called. Fiet e finale. I can't pronounce that. Fieti et finale? Finale? I don't know. Someone who speaks French, let me know how to say that, because I just butchered it. If you've been with me this long, thanks. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on my video and all of my videos in this series. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. I really greatly appreciate it. It really helps me out. If you want to be notified, subscribing and hitting that bell notification is the best way to do it. Every day I'm releasing a new update video in this series. Thanks again for sticking around for this video and for following the progress. And I'll see you guys in the next video.